Good morning, UPBOptionMillionaires.com. It is June 30th, Monday, 2014. I hope you had a great weekend. This is the S&P 500 ETF, the 10-day chart of this. And you can see we had some pullbacks intra-week last week. We had some, starting Tuesday, just the sell-off started at 1 p.m. And then on Thursday, right after the open, we had this really dynamic pullback. And yet stocks just kind of ignored it. La 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 la, oh, la, la. Which is akin to what we've seen over the last 5 years. Each of the rallies, each time the beach ball, I like to say, tries to get drowned. You ever try and drown a beach ball in a swimming pool? And what happens? When you let go of it, it just pops right back. So the sellers try and take hold of that beach ball and drown it, aka the stock market. And then they tire out and the stocks just rip higher than they were before, and that's where we're at now here with the S&P 500 ETF at virtually record levels. Any kind of sell-off is just short-lived. It's even shorter-lived, and you can see this chart from 2012. Look at the sell-offs. I mean, they're getting fewer and farther and fewer, and they're getting less dynamic. There's less of a pullback each time. So, are we setting up for a possible parabolic blow-off top at some point? It's possible. Or are we just going to melt higher the rest of our lives here on this planet, assuming it doesn't blow up tomorrow? Yeah, probably. So let's move into some individual names. Caterpillar, I'm just going to bring up some support and resistance levels here. Look at Caterpillar. If you pull up, now Caterpillar's down. The market just opened. I'm a little late this morning. Yeah, it was a long weekend, so kind of got a little extra rest. But you see Caterpillar here. Let me just pull up the drawings, and I'll show you what I'm looking at. You can see it's a long-term chart perspective here. Looks bullish here. It's been channeling, finally breaking to the top side of this channel. I brought this up at StockTwits and Twitter, in the chat room at OptionMillionaires.com, also at the blog, talking about this line here. Look at how perfectly it's come up to it, starting to pull back. Now, is this a flag? See how we got these candles here, consolidation, and we're going to break. Once we break out of this level to 110, this is going to go to 130. But if it doesn't right here and now, it could come all the way back to 75, as it's done in the past. It's actually come back even further than that back when its first rally, 2009. The lows were about 22 bucks, up to 115, 116, and pull back again, double topped, but found support at about the 77.50 level. So something to keep an eye on with Caterpillar, because I think assuming it does break to the upside, which you would think it will in this market environment where everything goes up, this could head quickly to 115, 117.50. Let's look at TLT, which broke. We're right at the cusp here, as we broke back at a couple months ago. This trend line was acting as resistance, and now we're back above it. This is very important, and I think this is the key to breaking out to the 120 level on TLT. Everyone seems to think that with the economy improving, interest rates are going to start to rise, blah, 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 blah. And that would mean TLT is going to go down to about 103 and 100, which is still likely. But if you look over in Europe, countries that were going to go belly up a couple years ago now have yielding less on their bonds than here in the U.S., which makes a lot of sense in this completely backward manipulated market, if you can even call it that anymore. Which means people looking for yield, if they have to buy a 10-year treasury note, are going to buy the U.S. because they're going to get more yield. And guess what? The U.S. can print until the cows come home, honey. We don't need to worry about defaults. Come on. We'll just print money to pay ourselves. I mean, that's great, isn't it? The biggest Ponzi scheme in the world. I mean, Bernie Madoff should be out gallivanting on the beaches, and everybody else should be put behind bars for this Ponzi scheme known as the whatever. I don't want to get arrested. All right, let's move into some other names. We have IWM, which was showing a nice head and shoulders topping pattern. No, not really. We're above, and now we're just channeling. We're above. This looked like a head and shoulders. See, I still left the circles here that were indicating a high, a higher high, and a lower high. The lower high is still there, but we came pretty close. It kind of not a nice clean head and shoulders pattern. We'll see. That would fool everybody, wouldn't it? Because every head and shoulders topping pattern since the lows in 2009 hasn't worked out so well. I was just bringing this chart up here in the chat room at OptionMillionaires.com. Look at Apple, okay? Look at Apple pulled back from its all-time highs back in May of 2013. You see I was just puttering along. I think it was at 400. It actually dropped under 400. It was at 395. This is all obviously after the split that it did a couple weeks ago. A similar chart. I wouldn't say 100% similar because Apple's been trading for a long time. LinkedIn not so long, but LinkedIn hit its high in September and has been pulling back ever since. It finally found support here at this trend line, which also was part of this channel back in the middle of 2012. And you can see it's moving off its lows. Now, if I pull in a little closer, and you can see exactly what I'm talking about, put in a nice, almost a W bottom here, as Apple did back in May of 2013. And look at this spike up and this consolidation. I think the next move is going to be a sharp one to the upside. So keep an eye on LinkedIn. LinkedIn could make a big move back over $200 in a short period of time. And everybody will be like, oh, I saw that coming. It was me. Yeah, you'll see it all over Twitter. CRM as well. Look at this spike off its lows here. Beautiful. I mean, this is a really nice flag here. Hello, I am a flag. It's the 4th of July. What better week to be rallying? I can't sing, so I'll cut this video short. All right, UPB here. Yeah, I got to get the trade. I ran late, so this is the market's open already. I'm already missing out on all those 100% accurate stock purchases I'm going to make and option buys. So I'll see you guys later. Everyone have a great trading day. I'll see you in the chat room at optionmillionaires.com. Have a great week, and if I don't hear from you, have a great 4th of July. Safe one. Don't blow any of your fingers off. And don't drink too much. All right. Goodbye.